Hello YouTube, welcome to episode number 1 of whatever the hell this is going to be. Thanks for being here. I do feel obliged to let you know that I have thrown up twice this morning. We are not feeling our best self today, so I feel like I need to disclose that before moving forward. I haven't had a case of Bali belly at all since living here in the 7 months. But on the day that I would like to film my first YouTube, I throw up twice and emit some water from the back end as well. I may as well show up as I mean to go on, which is authentically me. Don't expect polished edits or polished content. It is going to be completely raw and unfiltered, which personally is how I like to, well, they're the kind of people that I like to watch on YouTube. I'd say in the last 2 to 3 years, I really saw the value in YouTube. I never really was into it prior to that. And then there was a time where I was living on my own, and I definitely lent on YouTube as a source of comfort. And I find myself now opening YouTube and watching that instead of the TV. I'm also a bit of an oversharer, but I found that's actually been really beneficial in the past. I have shared things that maybe other people wouldn't, and then received a really lovely message off the back of that. And those are the kind of messages that really light me up and give me my spark. So I think it's really important that I show up as me and hopefully share things that would help you. And even if it doesn't help you, just give you a source of comfort that you can tune into after you've had a shite day and you just want to watch someone being silly on the internet. So without further ado, let's begin. I thought I would make the first video just like a intro, hopefully 20 minutes, no longer. Like a little intro, get to know me, chatty video. So I did put out a question box on Instagram and I received some really good questions. I will move on to that in a second, but before we dive into that, oh my gosh, I'm so sick. Before we dive into that, my name is Beth. I am a personal trainer and online coach, currently living in Bali. Before I lived in Bali, I lived in Dubai for 2 years. And then prior to that, I was living in London in the UK for 4 years. And I moved out from home at 18, and I've kind of just been moving around, seeing the world, and just, I guess I kind of used my 20s as self-discovery years. I mean, we all do that anyway, but I've, really taken that very seriously. So hopefully that gives you a bit of a insight into me. I am gonna get the questions up. So I did have a little look at the questions before I pressed record, and there were some really good questions. So thank you so much for coming through, guys. I didn't even need to, ask myself any questions. I'm actually gonna start with the first one that came through, which was, how are you doing? And I think that's a really nice one to start on. I am doing really well. Thank you so much for asking. I would be lying if I said there wasn't good days and bad days. I'm only human, and that's what comes with being a human. I'm also in a point of my life right now where I'm still taking risks and taking leaps into the unknown, and with that comes a lot of uncertainty and a lot of discomfort. So in myself, I'm doing really well. But of course there are good days and bad days. There were a couple of 5-year plan questions, and these people clearly do not know me at all. Hey, you look to live very much in the present. Do you have a 5-year plan? The answer is no. I feel like a 5-year plan is not very Beth coded. Whilst it may be logical and smart to many other people, it is just something that it hasn't been a priority of mine up until now. I'm very anti-control when it comes to life, and I feel like if I made a 5-year plan 5 years ago, it's definitely not going to be where I am today. So I like to just lean into wherever life takes me. And I feel like, God, I'm gonna sound so airy-fairy, but I do genuinely believe that it will lead me to where I'm supposed to be. And by removing that control, I'm actually going to end up happier. Not happier, but like where I'm supposed to be, rather than where I forced myself to be. And I feel like women especially, well, I shouldn't generalize, like everyone seems to be in a bit of a rush these days to have everything figured out from such a young age, and there seems to be a lot of pressure to have it all figured out. And I've really done my best to remove that pressure from myself and take my time, because like I said, I don't want to end up somewhere that I have forced myself to be. I want to end up somewhere where I really feel like I should be. And the way that my brain works, a 5-year plan doesn't quite sit right. That's not to say that I won't start thinking about that now. I just haven't been in a rush to do that. But I do have goals, and I do have things that I want to have achieved in 5 years, definitely. So maybe I am at a point now where I will lean into that a little bit more. But for my 20s, I really didn't want to make a 5-year plan. That actually scared me more. I wanted to just go and be free and explore. That's what I did, and that's why I ended up here. The next question, I know you loved Leeds, but do you regret getting a degree? I guess that kind of links to what I just said. No, I don't regret getting a degree. I definitely haven't used my degree, but I would go to Leeds and do it all again, fail my degree, and still pay the fees that I paid. Because honestly, I had some of the best years of my life at university, and I really do believe that those years shape you. I actually listened to a podcast. You're probably not going to agree with this. Yeah, a guest on a podcast said, I think further education is about being a total twat. Getting it all wrong, making mistakes, sleeping with people you regret. Those years are your discovery years, and they are a vital part of growing up and understanding who you are. So no, I would do uni all over again. It gave me incredible friends, incredible life experiences, and I genuinely believe I wouldn't be here without that. Like, I'm a big believer in the butterfly effect, and every small decision snowballing and being a catalyst in leading you to where you should be, and uni was part of that, so I would never ever regret that. Yeah. What's gone wrong for you? You always say just go for it, but has anything turned out badly? Yeah, I mean, honestly, a lot has gone wrong along the way. I do come across as quite a positive person, and I don't know, I think I have definitely shown some some low points on Instagram. Thanks for sticking with me through those. But again, I'm gonna sound so airy-fairy, but I think all of the things that go wrong is actually everything working out. If something doesn't work out the way I thought it would go, I believe it's because there's something better waiting for me. And every leap I've taken and risk I've taken has given me so much more than I could ever imagine, whether that's new connections, more life experience, just self-growth, and yeah, some amazing friends. So I would do it all again, but of course I think when you make big changes in life, there's always going to be things that go wrong. You just need to have that faith that it's part of the process and everything does work out in the end. I guess maybe you want a bit more of an example. So let me share. I mentioned that I was previously living in Dubai and now I live in Bali. So I did take a leap there in my career. I was offered a job and it seemed like a really great opportunity for me at the time, and it really felt like something I should go for. I felt like Bali was calling me and I needed to go and explore it. So I took the job. And yeah, it wasn't what I expected and it wasn't quite right for me. But honestly, I can't imagine having not came here. I can't imagine my life before the friends that I've met here and I would do it again. So yes, I did sacrifice a lot to come, but it's like opened doors that I wouldn't have previously thought of. So now I'm on a new path that feels more aligned to me, and I'm really grateful for the things that went wrong. Is this video going to be 20 minutes? I'm not sure. I feel like I'm just fully preaching to you like I'm some kind of life coach. It wasn't really meant to be this deep, but anyways, why did you leave the UK? Adventure. I needed to see what else was out there. Let's move on from that one before I chew your ears off. Next question was corporate to fitness. So just another bike. So why did I leave corporate and move across to working in fitness? Let's rewind. I got a degree in fashion marketing from the University of Leeds. Really saw myself working in fashion. I actually wanted to move to Paris and learn French. I even took French at university. My French is an absolute shambles. What good use that was. Anyway, graduated, did well at uni, got a good job, ended up moving to London, but the system just didn't make sense to me. Nothing against people that have a 9-to-5 job and work Monday to Friday. It just didn't make that system, just in my mind, like I just couldn't do it. So I had to break free, and that's what I did. And I kind of didn't realize that until lockdown happened. I was running every day, and like most people, using movement to pull me through not very nice time. I've seen people use fitness to literally turn their life around. So I like helping people realize their potential and unlock a side of them that, yeah, they are not even aware is there. So that's why I made the leap. It was something that I know I'm good at, and I felt like I had value, is what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. Whereas when I left my desk job, it was personally for me really unfulfilling, and I didn't feel like I was adding value back into the world, which is something that I like really thrive in doing. So I feel like this next question links on. Where did you do your PT course and how did you get into it? So the company was called The Training Group. I went for a half online, half in person. I feel like that's like I needed the in-person stuff to learn. I'm definitely like, that's my style of learning. I can't take things in if I just read it. So yeah, just went for it. In terms of like how I got into it, I just researched multiple courses, went with the one that I felt was best for me, paid for it and did the course. Yeah, just go for it. There's a lot, this is what I wrote. There's a lot of Bali versus Dubai questions, which there was, and I was like, should I do a Bali versus Dubai vlog? But I am just gonna group them here now. Oh, like I said, guys, sorry I'm not coming across my best self right now. I am feeling sick. I just can't lie to you. But like I said, the show must go on. First question, do you prefer living in Dubai or Bali? My answer is Bali. I'm not saying Bali is better than Dubai, but personally I am happier here. I feel like in Dubai I was very much in fight or flight mode. I was climbing up a hill and I just could not reach the top. And I just didn't feel very grounded or settled there. And then one of my friends that I did a fitness comp with in Dubai asked me, said, seriously thinking of moving to Bali next year. He spent 4.5 years, just another bike. He spent 4.5 years in Dubai and I think I'm ready to go. So what I would say is Bali is definitely easier to set yourself up in versus Dubai. Personally, this is again a personal preference, I don't see Bali as a forever home. I feel like it's a stepping stone. But it's a really good place to expand and grow, meet new people, try new things. And if you have online clients, it's a good place to live. You can definitely set yourself up quite easily here. So my response to you, David, is go for it. As always, go for it. Would you ever consider moving back to Dubai? No. There's a lot I miss about Dubai, and I do believe Dubai is the land of opportunity. I think it's a great place to be. But I always knew deep down as well that Dubai was not my forever. So I personally wouldn't go back there now, knowing that it's not my forever. I think my next stop is hopefully the last stop, and somewhere that I can settle and see myself living long term. How expensive is Bali? Not as expensive as Dubai, put it that way. It really depends on like where you want to live, what your expectations are. But you can definitely rent somewhere for £600 a month. You can spend as little as £3 on a meal, or as much as £20 on a meal. It really depends where you eat and what you feel like eating that day. But it's definitely a cheap place to live. It's getting a bit more expensive because it's becoming super popular, and a lot of people with money are bringing that over here. But yeah, relatively cheap. I'd say you could live in Bali for like, you could live off £1,000 a month. Yeah. What do you think about Zoe Rays Bali slander? I am shocked and not shocked. Having lived in both Dubai and Bali, not sure if I've mentioned that, but having lived in both, they're very different places and they cannot be compared. If she was coming away for a relaxing resort, yeah, like chill holiday, Bali is definitely not that. It's chaotic, but I believe the beauty is in the chaos, and you really need to embrace that. Yeah, a few who are you kissing questions. Stay tuned, might reveal that in the next one. Nah, to be fair, I did ask for juicy questions, so why not end on the juiciest one of all? And I feel like I owe it to you, you know, like if you've asked a juicy question, it's my responsibility to answer it and not sugarcoat it. I might sugarcoat it a little bit. Final question. I feel like relationships and love is just like the one thing that always gets like the most attraction. Like people are so invested in that, aren't they? So we'll end on a little bit of the love life. Why not? My friend asked, who was that Aussie guy and are you in love? I'm not gonna spill the whole tea, but yeah, I mean, I haven't had the best luck romantically in the last couple of years, and I've probably watched too many romantic movies. I probably have an unrealistic expectation of love. I mean, no, I'm not going to say that. I have high expectations, and I wouldn't settle for something that just doesn't feel right and doesn't give me that spark, that fire in my tummy, you know? And I'm willing to wait as long as it takes until that happens. As you can tell from this first YouTube, I don't like to control things, and that's a big thing, a big part of my life that I do not want to control. I think if you are pursuing someone, or you are like desperate for a relationship, you are gonna look for positive qualities in anyone that you find, and you are going to convince yourself that they are the person for you. Whereas when you're not looking and you are just working on yourself, and someone comes into your life and you are not expecting it and it works, like I personally like to take that approach. But because of that, like I would wait 5 years. I would die alone. Because I would just wait and wait and wait, and I just expect the man of my dreams to just walk into my life and just choose me, and like, yeah, that's how I expect it to happen. So yeah, let's just say like, yeah, I have met someone recently that is living up to my expectations. I just think in today's day and age, not a lot of men are willing to pursue a woman or like take it seriously. There's so much of this like casual vibes, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. So it's really refreshing when you meet someone that isn't like that. So let's just leave that there, and I hope you enjoyed the first YouTube. Stay tuned for more chaos. Actually, this was not chaotic. yeah, I'm proud of this one. I'm proud of holding the fort and chatting to you for 20 minutes whilst feeling like I'm gonna throw up. Have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next one. Wow.